purposeful nudge introduces the human agency gap, future-proofing by adding the human value at the edge.
Imagine a field service technician arriving at a job site. Before he even steps out of his van, an AI assistant on his device has parsed diagnostics, cross-referenced inventory, and mapped an optimized repair route. But the moment he tries to execute that plan, he hits a wall. He has to wait hours for a manager to approve the part requisition, and then fight with 5 different fragmented compliance software systems that conflict with the AI's recommendation. A single worker now carries the tools to outperform entire departments of the past, yet they remain tethered to an organizational design that hasn't moved an inch. That friction point is the human agency gap. It's a systemic bottleneck where outdated corporate structures actively choke out the potential value of the very technology they are trying to adopt. This diagram illustrates Bring Your Own AI. 76% of workers bypass IT to use personal AI tools. They save up to 300 hours annually, producing high-value work. But misaligned corporate systems mean 40% of those time savings are destroyed by low-quality outputs, the AI tax. For the most highly engaged employees, that tax translates to roughly a week and a half of lost time every single year, spent doing nothing but verifying claims, fixing AI hallucinations, and rewriting AI-generated content. Pushing individual employees to work faster without aligning the surrounding system simply doesn't create enterprise value. It just exhausts people. Today, only 38% of all employees are willing to support organizational change, representing a steep drop from just a few years ago. If a tool saves an employee 2 hours a day, but the organization immediately fills those 2 hours with more status meetings and higher output quotas, the worker hasn't gained any actual capability. They're just doing more tasks in the exact same amount of time. Human psychology dictates how technology is received. People will actively resist, ignore, or sabotage systems that reduce their perceived autonomy or feel unfair to their daily experience. The environment surrounding the worker matters more than the tool itself. Research shows that organizational culture, talent practices, and direct managerial support account for twice the impact on productivity as an individual's personal effort with an AI tool. Yet corporate leadership is largely unprepared for this entirely new behavioral challenge. Only 27% of executives possess a comprehensive AI strategy, and a mere 20% believe their workforce is actually ready to integrate these tools. Deploying software is no longer enough. Organizations have to shift their focus from simply buying capabilities to intentionally engineering human agency. To redesign the human-AI partnership, we can use the agency framework. This diagram outlines a dynamic 6-part ecosystem: aim, guardrails, enablement, nudges, control, and yield that replaces the old model of just handing out software in generic training. The first step is aim. Before deploying any AI capability, leadership must strictly define the targeted human outcome they want to achieve. Next are guardrails. A system needs definitive boundaries that separate exactly where the AI acts from where the human decides, complete with clear paths for escalation when things go wrong. Enablement and nudges shift learning away from the classroom. Instead, behavioral microstandards and prompts are embedded directly inside the daily workflow, guiding the employee in real time. Control is the operational mandate to grant workers visibility into how the AI arrived at an answer and the explicit authority to challenge and override those outputs. Finally, yield requires us to measure success differently. We have to look past hours saved and focus on improved decisions, higher customer value, and the elimination of unnecessary work. Real agency comes from providing meaningful, structured control within a set of operational standards, not simply letting workers use any tool they find online. Let's return to our field technician, but this time operating within a redesigned hybrid model. An AI agent has already detected an emerging failure and prepared the work order before the customer even noticed an issue. Under this framework, corporate standards define the boundaries of the repair, but the technician retains the explicit authority to apply his own contextual judgment to the AI's initial diagnostic on site. As he works, dynamic conversational micro-nudges appear on his device, guiding him through complex schematics and feeding his real-world corrections back into the central system to improve future accuracy. The yield is now measured by tangible outcomes: carbon avoided through route optimization, higher first-time fix rates, and total machine uptime. This specific hybrid model amplifies the worker's physical and mental capability, reinforcing their professional identity as an expert rather than reducing them to an algorithm's assistant. Scaling the technician's success to the global enterprise level requires a complete rethink of workforce design to close the human agency gap. Deploying the most advanced cloud infrastructure or outfitting every employee with a localized AI PC will not protect a company from the friction of an outdated behavioral architecture. The organizations that dominate the next decade will be those that intentionally design the best human-AI partnership, rather than the ones that merely bought the fastest software.
For more insights, subscribe to Purposeful Nudge and start rewiring your field services organization today.